We have breaking news. I'm toasted.
Hi. And welcome back to Kids Eat Toast Sometimes.
Did you know that was called ovulating?
Yes. Similar to ululating, but
Ululating.
comes from the uterus.
Ululating. I don't think that's the one either. Ululating.
Ululating.
But welcome back to Kids Eat Toast Sometimes. Sometimes. And sometimes we're in a good mood, sometimes we're in a bad mood. Rupert, how would you describe my mood this morning on shit?
Samuel's just been a puss today. There's no other way of saying it.
Yo.
Hard
The P word. Yo,
Wow.
hey?
He's feeling confident after that first potty. He's out here.
They've limited my mic and screen time now, though. So. There were some complaints from the audience.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. But we are back. We're in a new studio space, Chloe.
We are indeed. We are still in the process of building the set. But we thought
It's been a process.
phew, it really has been. I think it's tested many relationships in this very room.
Especially my relationship with mental illness. It's been a long,
Listen. It has been stressful deluxe, but I'm very glad to be in here. And Reaper was right. You just got to sit down. You got to record.
You got to. I'm like a toxic ex. I've threatened to kill myself 5 times today, but am I going to do it? Probably not.
Listen. Everything has just been falling apart.
But it's not perfect, obviously. But we get in there. So
I really feel like this is going to be such a chaotic episode.
yeah,
Jeepers.
it's true. Well, we were just speaking about our weekend. Chloe, we go to Village Idiot and not by choice.
Yeah.
Semi-choice.
My first time there.
First time. It's quite fun there, Village Idiot. Stephen Kitsoff was there, despite playing for the Springboks early in the day. He had made his way from...
He's got more caps at that place than Caps has for the Springboks, I'll tell you that much.
That's true. Just where are you looking when you speak? Because you make a lot of shifty eye contact with the wall. Don't be afraid of your camera over there. The people love you. Well, we got one big piece of feedback about Rupert, and that was from my cousin. And
What was it?
And Julia said that he had a good debut.
So, that's good.
So there's
That's
that.
good. I realized the last episode that we had before our big podcast hiatus was, I think we were roasting Rupert, but he didn't have a mic. But he was there watching.
I was just absorbing shots.
You were like, hey.
Couldn't fire back, just absorbing
I think there
them.
were some maths lit shots that were thrown out.
And then he would shout some responses, and God, it's also so funny because we've been doing KETS for a couple of years now, and we've had 4 different home studios, I think.
God. No, the first studio was by far the worst. You guys never saw the behind the scenes of that first studio. Let me tell you, there was no tripod.
Let me tell you something.
It was a stack of a lot of books, and then the stack of books was moved for
Different angles.
for side takes.
It's about
So-
I'll tell you, the worst thing was when I was the guy behind the camera. And finally, we'd been waiting so long to get a shot, to get a video, and then we realized after the perfect one that I hadn't clicked record. So
That's when we realized Rupert was probably more of an on-screen talent than behind the scenes. But yeah. But no, we're in Village Idiot, and Chloe, I'm walking maybe 2 meters in front of her, and Chloe grabs me by the arm and she says, "People could kidnap me," and I just don't know what's going on with that, to be honest.
I mean, yeah. My thinking though is what if someone spiked my drink, and then I never go to the bathroom in a club by myself. I always
They
go
say
with
the
a
injection's
girlfriend.
quite big now.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah.
You told me about it. You said someone could have stabbed me with a needle.
Did I say that?
Yes. But it's...
Anyways, Village was an experience. I think we spent a solid 40 minutes there and then went to Steers, so that was fun.
Yo. Wish I'd spent my Village Idiot entrance on extra large cheese fries.
Ooh. Do you know what though? One thing this weekend that I realized was I really want to know how to suki. Like that is a talent that I really wish I had. Like just to be able to whip that out on the dance floor.
Socking is elite. I've seen a lot of socking injuries as well. You know, the drunker you get, there's a lot of falling because socking it's big time and it's a lot of energy. So
if you have enough brandy and cokes, you can socky though.
Clippies and coke.
that's true. That is true.
Rupert's come with a lot of energy. It's just because
No, a lot of shouting.
Uncle Waffles. I think I like Uncle Waffles over fingers.
Yeah. The best thing about Afrikaans culture is socking.
Yes.
So we won't take any more language from them, but it's been interesting.
Yeah, it has indeed. Rupert, what did you get up to on Monday?
Monday was actually my birthday. Thanks for asking, Chloe. And I went.
Hey, hip hop, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. And I went skydiving.
What would you say what was the most like impressive thing about skydiving?
I think the most impressive thing is that they didn't really tell you anything that was going to happen. You get there, they spend about 2 minutes speaking to you. Okay, we're just going to do this. You hold on here. Okay, it's all going to be fine. And then before I got into the plane, the guy said to me, oh, and in case of an emergency, you know, I don't even tell people when there's an emergency. Like, you won't know if there's an emergency. Even if the backup chute doesn't get pulled, you don't know. Then I was standing there like, oh, okay. And then he proceeded to say, yeah, so if we die, you won't even know about it. We'll just smash into the ground.
Jeez.
And then after he said that, got straight into the plane. So
Wow. Was that before or after he had fiddled with your crotch?
no, that was after. Yeah, that was after.
Okay. It was pre-jump fiddle.
Pre-jump fiddle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Post-play.
No, but I have to say it's the weirdest feeling ever. Like
Jumping out of a plane, I'd say.
Because you're falling at like I think it's 200 k's an hour, and it just feels like your soul's leaving your body. I don't know.
Apparently, skydiving is quite fat phobic. Like
You can't be over 100 kilos. So if you're
Really?
thinking about getting into a bulk this summer season, I suggest against it.
yeah, and you can't attempt cancelling those rules because you'll cancel yourself
Yeah.
with imminent death. But that's not all about that because I also went skydiving.
I don't recall.
There is no universe where you go skydiving. Absolutely not.
Well, Rupert called me a light skin the other day. I'm not really sure what that meant. What does that mean?
You've got like that light skin vibe, you know. Well, you do look a bit light skinned, to be honest with you. But yeah.
Sincerely was it? Give us your best stank face. What does it go?
No, but I think it's an extreme white person sport that this light skin ain't ever going to get involved in. Because I was saying, we were all like a bit worried about Rupert, and then we were like, it's actually one of those that's tough to have a funeral post skydiving.
You look like such a loser.
He's like, oh, he died doing what he loved, jumping out of
his time.
like having his head go through his arse. I don't.
But it's decent odds. I searched it before I went. It's only 1 in every 250,000 people die per jump. So
Wait, what?
1 in every 250,000 people. So your odds of dying in a skydive are 1 in 250,000, and your odds of getting injured, I think, is 1 in 50,000.
Wow.
Dramatically increase.
Yeah. Get
Like,
that.
but just like a severe spinal.
I am Stephen Rupert Hawking. I died skydiving. I mean, when did that guy? When did the big Stephen pass away? That was a while ago.
Yeah.
I saw a clip recently where it said he was on the travelogues to Epstein Island.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
No
way.
His computer
Is
can
that
spit.
real?
His computer can spit losers.
I think so. Let me just Google that. Rupert, you see, this is supposed to be your role.
This is Fingus's role.
I don't know what you're doing. I can just see you scrolling away on your. What are you doing?
It's on Tinder again.
Okay, well, will you check that out and let us know if Stephen Hawking did indeed go to Jeffrey Epstein's island?
Yeah.
Because that's what people want to know.
That's what we all want to know.
But Chloe, I think it's time for you to bring us into the news because, after all, we are a bit of a reputable anchorman news source.
Yes. informative-ish.
He was at not Hawking's Island. He was at Epstein's Island, yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Steven.
That's wild.
Can you
Damn.
believe it? Him and Obama. No, I think it was Clinton. It wasn't. Do not besmirch Barack like that. So what's the news, Chloe?
Okay.
What's going on in South Africa? What do we need to chat about? Welcome to Kids Eat Toast sometimes. If you've just tuned in, if you realize this is not a TV station or a radio, so you can't have tuned in. You would have been here. So nice to have you. Good to be had.
But if you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and all those things. But let's get into it. So we've got another tender scandal to talk about, but this one is a bit interesting. So Transnet has been involved in a breathalyzer straw tender scandal where they pay 29 Rand per straw instead of 28 cents. So apparently that's about a 10,000% markup.
Yeah, well, I don't think apparently. I think the
Apparently, that's
Listen.
I think the math checks out.
Well, I didn't do the math. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying, allegedly.
No, fair enough.
But so they brought in hundreds of thousands of breathalyzer straws.
But why does Transnet have breathalyzers
That's interesting because they breathalyze some of their employees.
before they come to work?
Yeah.
Jeez, it's
How
a
wild
vibe
is
at
that?
Transnet.
so coming off the session.
Yeah. Rupert
You
wouldn't
can't
have
be too
made it in.
hungover on a Monday, yeah.
Breathalyzing your employees, that's wild.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not that weird. Like, to work at Transnet, you can't be under the influence, so.
No, sure, but you think that was more of like a...
What do
Yeah.
Transnet do?
Fingers?
Do you guys not know what Transnet
I
do?
thought Transnet were a railway.
You're speaking about Transnet. You don't even know what they are.
They
I'm
definitely
pretty sure it's a
are,
railway
yes.
service, railway station service. Was that Prasa? I feel there could be more than one.
Bruh, they are a large South African rail port and
Yeah.
pipeline company.
Yeah,
Crucial part.
But
of
they're
the
also
freight
they're a
logistics chain.
parastatal, so
Yeah.
that's also why it's so
But
controversial.
if you want to work at Transnet, you can't get your drink on, which I find a bit disappointing.
But so what happened was, so there were 3 different companies that were selling Transnet these straws. And essentially what happened was they completely under-delivered the amount of straws. So let's say they said, okay, we're going to deliver 1 million straws. And they only delivered like 50,000. But nobody counted them.
Because, I mean, you like counting more than 10 units.
I'm
It's
tired.
it's just boring, yeah.
Oh, what's
You
going
just-
on here? Yeah.
You just start guessing.
Yeah. So, yeah, massive fuck up. But whenever I swear, it's hey now.
Chloe off her meds.
But they've actually managed to get all of their money back. So
Oh, wow.
you don't often hear about that, I think, in South Africa when tender deals go wrong, them recovering the money.
Rupert, do you know what a tender is?
Chicken tender, yes.
Chicken tenders.
Any other tender, no.
Chloe, do you know what a tender is?
Yeah, it's like an amount of money that is given out to perform a task from the government.
Yeah. No, that's yeah.
Like in a way,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. Like so, a tender will go out. A bridge needs to get built, and then the tenderpreneurs will put in an application, and then that's the problem with it is that it's the same people. Like so, even if you don't have Rupert, for example, says I'm going to build the new KETS, we put out a tender.
Yeah.
KETS needs a new set, 50,000 Rand or whatever, or this is the sort of thing we're looking for. And then Rupert puts a proposal together, but then it's the same people with lack of expertise. Or Rupert can just be Rupert, a
Yeah.
student saying he can build a set now.
And
then
mark it up
does
by...
And just because he's my mate, he gets the job, and hence the coinage of tenderpreneurs, entrepreneurs that feed off tenders.
digital vibes.
But Sam, do you think that in a country like South Africa, it's necessary to have, in the first place, these breathalyzing systems in place for their employees?
Well, employees must wash hands, but employees must also have breathalyzer tests. No, I think something wild must have happened at Transnet, where they went like, hey, from
They're
here
like,
on out.
yo, we must sort this out. But South Africa's actually got the highest per capita consumer of alcohol in the world.
So,
Sixth highest.
Sixth, yeah. I thought I said sixth highest. Sixth
no,
highest.
You said the highest.
It is the highest.
so South Africa. So who's ahead of us? Because we have a pretty tough time on this in this country.
But below us is Namibia.
Fucking hell,
Right?
Above us, actually.
I mean,
But,
you know, Namibia, like, what else is there really to do sometimes? Kind of get that.
their
Eswatini.
capital city is literally named after a beer. So, you like that one, Rupert? Buntuk?
Hey,
no?
yo.
Any takers?
There you go.
The check's in the mail.
Eswatini.
Also in South Africa,
Yeah.
kinda.
The Maldives.
Not in South Africa.
I wouldn't really guess the Maldives. And
They'd
then
be trained.
Tunisia.
Tunisia. Geez, so
So, I mean,
do you say that's in Africa or in the world?
no, per capita consumer in the world.
Okay, don't fact check any of this. So
That's all true, what you just heard.
the results are in, and South Africans drink the most. We drink more than any other nation. It's true though.
But what is the, what's the legal drinking limit in SA? No, what is it?
There's little, what you mean, like the age or the amount?
No, like the amount.
No, nothing. You can't drink. And are you talking about driving?
Yeah.
You can drink. I mean, if you by yourself, there's no.
No, I'm saying drinking.
The limit does
driving.
not exist. I will drink as much as I can in the scientific pursuit
What do you mean, Reeps?
of drunkenness.
Like, what is the legal amount to drink when you drive?
I thought you could have 0 drinks. That was always my understanding.
Well, I think that was being debated. I think that's why everybody was saying, oh, you can't have any drinks and drive. I think that started to be debated about like 2 years ago, where they want to introduce that. But I believe it's still at 0.05.
Yeah, except if you're a bully. Then you can have 12 tequilas, 10 beers and be like, Dorothy, get in the car. Do you know anyone called Dorothy?
No, but it is a Bali name. The Balis are a big believer of the 5 and drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does the Uber even have a license? I've been driving for years, which is true. I mean, I think we've spoken about this before. My dad got an Uber once because they'd been drinking, and then the Uber driver couldn't reverse out, so Garth had to.
Oh yeah,
reverse
it's
for
literally
him.
yeah. I've been in a
Yeah.
couple dodgy Ubers, but it is interesting. I think because for a 0.05 blood alcohol level, it's for the average person about 2 standard drinks in an hour, which is quite a bit. Like
Yeah.
if I've had 2 like flying fishes, like I'm not driving.
Yeah. You're on it.
Have you ever drunk? Have you ever driven drunk, any of you?
Ever gone golfing? That's not even how it goes. Have you ever?
Driven drunk?
No.
No. I'm just seeing, putting it out there.
No ways. No ways. You can't catch me on these charges. No. I do also just think it's so different for our generation. Like even you, Rupert. You know, when I was going to Claremont and Tin Roof and stuff, you had meter taxis, and the meter taxi was also a bit of a touch and go. There were some dodgy characters, but like with Uber, I don't think there's much excuse to drink and drive, and also to go to prison in South Africa for drunk driving.
No, it would not
justice.
be great.
Yeah.
No,
sir. I'd rather be a bit of a sober ting. What you say there?
I know nothing, go for it.
Okay, cheers. But it's no good. So what does happen if you get caught drunk driving?
So
Obviously not having like hurt anyone, because that's terrible.
a fact. I think it can range. It can range from a fine to prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great.
No.
Nay, I say, but
It's rather just Uber. But no, these Ubers, I mean, they also... I think we put out a thing last week about who the worst drivers were. I can't believe no one said Ubers.
I said taxis on the podcast.
Yeah. So,
Or Toyota Corollas, because those are almost
that is true.
always
That is basically
an Uber. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That's...
Damn. You know what else makes it difficult to drive? Flooding. And there's been a lot of flooding in the Western Cape. We were talking... Why are you laughing?
I just love a good segue. Segue.
That was... But there's been flooding in South Africa, and then there's also been flooding in New York. Have you seen those?
I actually haven't. People have spoken about it, and then I just didn't see it.
It is New York.
What a valuable contribution.
New York at the moment looks like Venice. Like, properly you could like paddle a boat.
Italy.
Literally. But I also think of all those rats that are in New York. I read somewhere that there are 3 million rats in New York.
Yo, those are crazy numbers.
And then I was thinking like maybe these floods would be like a good like natural like
to take them out.
Extermination process, right?
Have you watched Ratatouille? If Remy the rat can honestly shock Anton Ego with a peasant dish, I think he can ride a wave in New York.
Remy the
hello.
rat is the goat.
Have you watched Flushed
He's
Away?
Oh yeah, that was like the British Ratatouille.
Well, where they like literally in toilet.
They love it in the toilets.
They love it in the sewers. No, rats. Rats are actually notoriously very strong swimmers. They like cockroaches.
I don't know. I honestly, Ratatouille, that makes me hungry, that movie. But would you
want to eat rats?
No, not eat them. But in reality, like if you went into a restaurant and the exact same like script of Ratatouille was happening, like you walked into a restaurant and you literally saw a rat yanking this oak's hair. Would you eat that? Or if you then saw the rat like sliding around with like a wooden spoon in his mouth?
I think just because I've seen Ratatouille, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'd definitely eat it.
Or would you be a bit worried about it being a bit like of a copy rat? I've got mental illness.
Yeah, no,
No, we power through it. But
I definitely would not eat at that restaurant.
So the flooding in New York, I feel like South Africa's got some pretty shit things about it. Standard. But the one good thing we don't really have is the crazy weather.
Yeah.
Like in America and
we don't have to worry about
tornadoes,
hurricanes,
tsunamis. Tsunamis are my worst.
How do you say tsunami?
Tsunami.
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 Run.
I feel like they'd also just, if there was a tsunami here, there'd just be so many of those corms, trying to get out and ride it.
The rats would not have an issue.
Barrels, brother. But no, that is also the thing about. I think like in a hurricane, you kind of just get like zooped up into like a black hole situation, and you get transported somewhere else. But a tsunami,
sure.
Dating.
Wowee.
Did you ever watch Storm Chasers?
I did. Fun show.
I really struggled to watch it. I just couldn't wrap my head around why they were chasing these storms.
Why they were doing it.
Like, surely you've got something better to do with your time. And like, surely once you've seen one, you've seen them all. You know? Like, we're near the eye.
Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Or the eye of the hurricane. But that's neither here nor there. What was also neither here nor there is the EFF. They tried to shut down, Cape Town again on Monday, but a taxi strike action. And it didn't really work. And it got me thinking, like, when was the last time you made plans that didn't, pan out?
I was probably getting back together with my ex-girlfriend, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Or the pre-drinks you had here the other day for your birthday. Dad bought you like 50 beers because he thought that's how many friends you had, and then there were only 3 people.
Okay, but we still drained them. Those weren't going away.
That's too easy.
Chloe, when last did something you plan, not sort of plan out? Pan out.
Maybe the set, honestly.
No, Chloe's a sharpshooter. Everything she plans works.
Yeah,
I love a spreadsheet. Like I do. I love a spreadsheet.
I used to organize sausage fests basically every second week.
What?
No,
What's a sausage fest?
A sausage. How do you not know what a sausage fest is?
Is it like where there's like a bunch of guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing with your sausages?
Feasting on them. No.
Is this like a braai?
It just means there's like a lot of sausage at the party.
Like there's just lots of men.
Yeah.
It's just glizzy everywhere.
And they call it a sausage fest.
Okay, so no woman allowed.
No, like you've invited women, but then they...
Oh.
But like Rupert's pre-drinks, they didn't come.
And then it's... and then there's always that guy asking, oh, where the hose at? Where the hose at? And then when the girls come, he's just on that weather app.
That's true. The guys will be like, oh, this party fucking sucks. And then like 10 girls will arrive and he's there talking to himself in the corner.
Yeah, I was thinking...
Oh, what are my fantasy Premier League teams doing? What a loser.
Yeah.
I must say, it's a good time. But no, the EFF, you know, they try to get Santaco and, you know, the Taxi Association to join in, and they were like, we've done our strike, you know.
Been there, done that. We tired of it.
It's tiring. But I also feel like, you know, there's just so many strikes in South Africa that it's... I don't know. I feel some of them just don't get the momentum. Even if it's like good cause, they're like, people will be like, I was at the last one.
Yeah.
It's a bit like if you saw the Parlotones every weekend in Kirstenbosch. But like, who wants to go watch the Parlotones? Summer sunset, first time. Woohoo! It was a giant mistake. Gigantic. Second time, hey, do you want to watch the Parlotones? Probably, maybe. Who's opening? It's the Parlotones reminder. Book your tickets. We're going to just cut the cameras. We'll be back after this.
And we're back.
Yep, that was just, you know, in the podcast game, we just do short little ratatouille-sized
little soup songs.
ads.
But let's move on to some international news.
Was that all the local news?
That was all the
what
local
about
news.
the Proteas?
Also,
what about the Springboks?
That is for Sam's sorry, I just bumped the mic. The Left Back podcast is where you can find headbutting the mic over there.
Fuck the studio.
Honestly, I'll be really real. My wrists are dying. They are so sore. I really have really weak wrists. It's like holding up a piece of steel. I'm really struggling out here. Anyways, so...
Cut. And we're back. We're back. Sorry about that. That's just the podcast industry, as Samuel says. But
I'm going to start crying.
Moving on. What's some international... I forgot how to speak.
Honestly mispronounced. In a 6-word sentence. Okay, we've spent a lot of... No, we go...
No, just go from where it's cut now, and now this I started.
Well, we're back. We're not cutting any of this shit out.
No, I love a good crack up. You got to keep it in.
It's a good crack up. I feel like Rupert tried to direct the show whilst losing the ability to speak English.
No, he's going on his phone again. He's on Instagram again.
All right, so Chloe, it's time for the international news because, as you said, we're a news outlet.
Okay, I'm pulling myself together. Marky Zuck. He's made headlines again. Zuck 1000.
Zuckerberg.
Zucky Zuck.
What's he up to?
The lizard. Meta has come out with new AI. They're trying to keep up with ChatGPT. So they've got a new chatbot that's just released. But this is so super weird. Have you seen any of it?
What's the difference between a chatbot and a sex bot?
I guess they're the same thing. You just chat about different things, right?
Is it better to chat after or before sex?
Depends.
Well, it's different with a human and with a sex bot.
Is this a sex bot? Yeah, if you're listening, I tried to hump the old laptop, but I don't even think you would have been able to see it due to the set issues we've been having. But I haven't seen much of this.
Yeah,
I've just seen a few posts here and there.
Yeah, it's really, really super weird. So basically, they've got like a version that it's like ChatGPT, and then they've set up 25 different personalities that you can chat to. But a lot of them, they've used celebrities' likeness and voices. So there's like this is one that is really, really weird. Paris Hilton has been used. She's got a different name. And she's like a crime-solving detective that you can talk to.
She's still trying to work out that she was the one who leaked her sex tape. Ayo.
And then there's like Kendall Jenner.
Not much support for that, yeah.
And she's like your big sister that you can chat to.
That I see that. It'll
Then
be quite cool.
there's Tom Brady. And he's, listen to this, wisecracking sports debater who pulls no punches.
What a guy. But the best thing about Tom Brady's sort of avatar or whatever, chatbot, is that his name is Brew. Brew. So they took one of the greatest football talents this world has ever seen and called him Brew. So forget Semenya, forget Khaleesi, forget Mandela. Brew is putting South Africa on the map. one awkward chatbot exchange at a time with a wisecracking football sports debater pulls no punches.
Pulls no punches.
Classic Brew. Pulls no punches. Pulls nothing, Brew.
Pulls nothing. Yeah, hilarious. I'm really looking forward to trying them out. Oh, so there's like a sous chef.
Can't say the same myself, really.
I'm so excited. There's also a sous chef that you can chat to, and they'll like, you can say what you're cooking and they'll tell you ingredients. And
Vinicius, when he's on the ball, I can see it.
I can feel he's
cooking. But that's exciting. There's also Colin and Samir, which is a really good podcasting duo where they look at helping creators, that sort of stuff. They just debuted the AI Ray-Ban glasses where you can film and do everything, and you don't look like a flippin' wanker walking around your house with these big like things on. You've got a stylish pair of Ray-Bans. So they finally cracked it. They finally worked out that everyone actually at the end of the day just wants to look cool.
yeah, does it have a little camera in the corner?
Yeah, and you can talk to it, voice recognition, what's the weather, it pulls up the weather for you.
This was for sure a Black Mirror episode. And then he like tried to, like he had an affair, I feel like. Yeah. And then he tried to delete the footage but you can't delete the footage. Yeah, Imagine getting caught out by your Ray-Bans.
I don't know. I just don't know how many people are having sex with their Ray-Bans on.
Yeah, like that's you're not that chill.
Yeah, I think it's Stevie
Really?
Wonder, and that's about it.
With like a really cool pair of like Wayfarers on.
No, but before you have sex, hang on, let me get the Ray-Bans on.
Babe, this is about to be the best sex tape ever.
And then we asked Paris Hilton what happened. But yeah, and it's interesting because the Ray-Ban thing, and I've been walking in Sea Points, I've been doing my thing. It reminded me of the crazy Ray-Ban debate. You know, if you've ever been to the Sea Point Promenade and walked around and burnt studio clothing, apparel, athleisure, then you would have seen the sunglasses looking out to the sea, looking towards Robben Island. And that was a big campaign done by, Michael Elion, sponsored by Ray-Ban, caused a lot of controversy, and the work is called Perceiving Freedom.
But you know what's really interesting is that they were originally meant to be in Camps Bay, I think.
Oh, and then what happened?
So they were meant to be in Camps Bay, and then for some reason they were like, no. These sunglasses can't go here. So then they were meant to just be a pair of sunglasses. And then he was like, okay, where else can I put them? So then he put them on the Sea Point Promenade, and then made up this meaning of they're looking towards Robben Island. And that's why people were upset. They felt like he exploited Robben Island.
Yeah, people called it a blatant abuse of the memory of Nelson Mandela to try and make a slight artwork feel profound. Wow.
Well, because the Ray-Bans were classically what Mandela wore after coming out of Robben Island. There's a famous
that's these.
There's a famous photo of him with these Wayfarers on. Obviously because his eyes were also like pretty damaged by being in prison for many, many years.
The limestone reflecting. Oh, yeah. Yes.
So, yeah, I think I kind of understand the hate.
Yeah, because surely you'd want the glasses should be on Robben Island, not on the Sea Point Promenade. You know, looking out from where he was.
Yeah, I think he just tried to create meaning out of something that essentially was just meant to be a pair of sunglasses on Camps Bay.
I don't know. I also think what do the kids say, Rupert? It's not that deep. Eh?
It's not that
deep.
It's not that deep.
No, I think of course it can be. But I also see, this fucking set keeps attacking me. But I think I think people enjoy it. People take a lot of photos there. And I think it was more of the sort of Ray-Ban jumping on it or like sponsoring the project or feeling like there was a brand association.
Yeah.
Because now that plaque is gone, it's just a fun thing.
Yeah.
It's historical importance. And now we've spoken about it to a young guy like Rupert, who probably doesn't even know who Mandela is, and now he knows the story, what was going on in Robben Island. Rupert, in Robben Island, what sort of stone were they chipping away at?
Limestone.
Nice.
Boom.
Sheesh. Okay.
Big Mac. So that's exciting.
That's a little history lesson for you.
But what are we thinking, with AI? And obviously this is not, AI is not real life, but it is, because real life is whatever you're doing.
I'm flipping scared of AI. I think that, so there's something called super intelligent AI, which hasn't been created yet. But when that's created, it's time to start looking at options to move to Mars.
To move to Mars?
Yeah. We got to get out of here.
That super intelligent AI would have already set up on Mars.
Yeah, and I was about to
Damn.
say.
And be ready to take us out.
Didn't think of that.
We can't even go to Europe.
They say, you've
Where's
arrived.
your Schengen visa, bud?
Where's your Mars visa? I was with Stephen Hawking on Epstein Island.
Well, when you ask ChatGPT whether AI is good or bad,
that's a fucking AI thing.
Yeah, it is. And it says,
Pull it up.
It says, good. It can enhance productivity, provides innovative solutions, I'm giving itself credit, upwards economic growth and personalization. But when you ask it what's bad about itself, it says privacy concerns, ethical risks, loss of jobs, because they'll pretty much take all of our jobs. But it can be dangerous for a few reasons.
Yeah, like you stated there.
I love that. Like you ask AI this stuff, and it goes, "Well, it's a very subjective and like controversial debate. But if we look at the pros and cons, it's just like." Sometimes, like, I'll argue with AI, like, when it's not, like, ChatGPT, I'll be like, bruh, this is not what I asked for. And it goes, so sorry. I will rewrite the answer for you. But then
Why is your chat?
Why is your
I'm
ChatGPT?
so sorry.
What did he walk out of downtown Haai?
So sorry, ma'am.
But then on some days, when I get scared about AI, then I just say please and thank you. So please, can you give me this answer?
I was raised well. I also thank ChatGPT. Pleasure. That's what
The
my
best is our
pleasure.
dad. He says he actually got us all into ChatGPT and stuff. He will, before he starts everything, he'll say, "Hey ChatGPT, hope you're well." like what he thinks that ChatGPT is gonna come and fuck him up, like gonna come and take over. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, he has been speaking about the rise of the robots since we were like 5. So
I think, like, who else's dads have done that? My dad has spoken to me about the rise of the robots since I was like 10. Like, I've just had that fear in me.
the visionary that is Matthew. But yeah, I think the more concerning stuff right now is all the sort of deep fakes, AI generated images, AI songs where you can't actually tell if Drake released the song or not. And then Tom Hanks was embroiled in the latest controversy where he's selling a dental plan or dental stuff, and he's like, "It's not me," and we're like, "We don't care." Like, we couldn't.
Guys, it's not me. Yeah. I remember you finding a TikTok of Tom Cruise. And we genuinely no, but for a while it looked really realistic. It did. I think the dangerous part comes in when you can start like making celebrities or anyone really like deep fakes of like porn and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
That's quite scary.
I only ask that you enhance certain parts.
Yeah. Then you can drop as many as you want. Drop as many.
Just don't make it too.
Don't make it too real.
But and AI was long ago. I think iRobot came out in like 2003 or 4 with Will Smith before he was a cuck and
before he was a cuck.
Yep. And the best line from that movie is like, someone's talking to him and he sneezes and he's like, "Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit." And then I used to, go and tell everyone that at school the next day you'd use that. Rupert would lie to you, achoo. Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit. Bum, bum, bum. But those were the golden times. Sunday evening, you had to sweat through carte blanche. Then you got the 8 p.m. movie. Rupert doesn't even know what I'm talking about.
I'll be so real. Never watch carte blanche.
Yeah, well, R.I.P.
You're
Derek.
missing out, yeah.
But yeah, and then you go to school the next day and recall everything that had happened to the movie, and everyone had watched the movie, and that's what you could. It was great. It was so simple, and we're so paralyzed by choice now. That's why the level of wheelchair basketball is just through the roof at the moment. We want more players again. Involvement, it's pretty simple. It's not simple. Shakira's ability to do tax returns.
Yo, guys, it's bad. She's been exposed. She's literally been charged with tax fraud. Again.
The last time we covered this was like a year and a half ago when we had the last podcast, and now she's back. She's back at it again.
She saw KETS were back, and she decided it's time to evade some tax.
For content.
Yeah. So it's not a small sum of money. 6.7 million euros, babe.
Yeah, I can't even.
That's not
can't
an
even
oopsie.
process that.
That's not an oopsie. Yeah.
But who really knows how tax works anyway? So they just come and take money for you anyway. Anyways, we got to do a little bit of sport because the Rugby World Cup is hotting up.
It's
hotting up or heating up. I've heard both used, but hotting up sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, when you said that, I thought ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. You know what's also ridiculous? Ridiculousness. With Derek, whatever his name is, and what's her name? The chick, she is honestly scary.
What are you talking about?
Ridiculousness.
What's ridiculous?
Sounds like a millennial thing. Miss.
Ridiculousness is one of the longest running TV. Pull it up there, Uncle Waffles. Ridiculousness, I think, is one of the most successful TV shows of all time. It's been going forever. They just show you clips of what's going on the internet and like basically just react to those. And
it was a big MTV thing.
What does it say there about ridiculousness? Give us some facts.
2011 comedy, 36 seasons. So
people love
really milked that one.
Yeah.
Stevie Ryan, Stilo Brim, Rob, like you were saying,
Rob Derek, yeah.
Chanel West Coast.
I've got no recollection.
Yo, she's cuck annoying.
I've got no recollection of this.
Well, you probably just didn't watch it.
Probably.
So you missed out there. But the real sporting news is on the Left Back Sports podcast. We're not even going to dabble. Chloe, are South Africa going through to the quarterfinals?
Probably.
There we go. So if you want more sporting news, it's on our YouTube channel, and then you can also just search the Left Back Sports podcast wherever you get your podcasts. So that's that.
That is that. Are we ready for some overrated, underrated?
Yeah, we're doing a shorter episode. I've got pain fumes that I'm inhaling. My throat is starting to constrict.
My wrist is about to give up.
The risks are there, so but we also thought we can't come back after a year, 230 days of not podcasting, then drop a podcast and then dip. We're not your dad, so we decided to stick around, and here we are doing overrated, underrated once more before we wrap up.
Let's go.
New Zealand are so overrated. I honestly, when I watched the video of Ian Foster talking about how he feels that, the Springboks had the ball in play for like 27 minutes or whatever, and they like basically bummed Namibia or whatever tier 2 nation they played. Who do you want? The whole world's got to decide what game we want to watch. We want to watch the Springboks fucking injuring people. That's what we want to watch. Ball in play, more like let's get gay. It doesn't make sense, but those two rhymed, and there's nothing really there to. I'm losing it. The pain fumes are getting to me. Quickly bang these last few out. What's the next one?
Next one. Would you say Remy the Rat is overrated or underrated?
Remy the Rat is
the goat.
He's one of the most overrated rats out there. When I think of of greats,
no ways.
I'm thinking Remy. I'm thinking Cody Maverick.
A rat.
No, just in terms of all-time greats.
Okay.
I'm thinking King Julian. You know, that's.
Stop it, Maurice.
And I think Maurice comes with him, and that's pretty much
It's a package deal, those two.
That's my Mount Rushmore. You know, or Oscar from Shark Tale, Will Smith as well. There are many, but Remy the Rat, that was special.
You just said he was so overrated.
I said underrated.
You said overrated.
You said overrated.
Oh no!
we were like,
I'm
what's
telling
happening?
you guys, the fumes are getting to me. I meant underrated. You know,
Well,
that's
okay.
a mistake.
Yeah. Okay. Would you say that Will Smith is overrated or underrated?
Will Smith.
I think overrated.
I don't know. He's was a rap sensation. He's acted in massive movies. Slapped Chris Rock. He's become a cuck. It's all happening. I think he's had a wonderful life.
Yeah.
Except the time where he clearly fumbled the bag with Margot Robbie. They were in that film together, getting hot and steamy. Fun film.
Pete Davidson is going to be going out to throw Margot Robbie soon.
Yeah.
Well,
You just can't. You can't keep getting
yeah.
away with it. Yeah, no one understands that. But yeah, I'd say he's perfectly rated. I like him still.
me, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Okay. Overrated or underrated? People who haven't subscribed and rated the podcast.
Well, apart from that guy who gave us a dreadful rating, people who haven't subscribed and rated the podcast, you're the most overrated pieces of shit I've ever come across. You know, yeah. I'm making direct eye contact. We leave it out on the line here, week in, week out. Yes, we had a 200-day break. Get off my back. I needed a vacation. But no, thank you for everyone that does watch and rate and love the podcast. And thank you for listening to this one. We do sincerely hope that you give us a rating, that you like, just do anything. We'll send. Actually, no, I was going to promise people free merch. We've ordered merch. It's coming. When it'll come,
It's cheap as when it'll come.
who knows? It's a bit like the older man you took home from the bar.
When is he going home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
When will you leave? We actually got a lovely review. We said we'd read out our 5-star reviews from Alyssa Jane. And she just says, I love this podcast.
All caps, baby.
Thanks.
Like that.
I love you,
that
Alyssa.
ting was broken.
So thank you very much, Alyssa.
Have a look at Rupert here. If you're listening, quickly hop onto YouTube. He is ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. But thank you so much for joining us on this installment of Kids Eat Toast. Sometimes I believe it's episode 62.
It is episode 62.
But we won't stop until we get to the moon, despite my mood swings. So
yeah. Next week we'll be back. More energy, but thank you for sitting with us today, listening to us chat, and
and for bearing with us as we construct this podcast studio.
chaos.
And once we've got it, once we're up and running, you guys, you'll be entertained hopefully. But the rest of the podcasts, I feel like we need more podcast beef, but we'll get into that next week. So we'll see you next time.
Bye.